All right, welcome everyone. Give it a minute for all of our attendees to enter from the waiting room. Welcome to Villanova's virtual open house. We'll be starting in just a moment. Give it just another minute or so. All right, wonderful Zoom. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome everyone to Villanova's virtual open house. My name is Tyler Hart and I am the Director of Admission here at Villanova. Villanova Preparatory School is a co-ed Catholic Augustinian day and boarding school located in Ojai, California, about an hour north of Greater Los Angeles. Before we begin, I ask that my fellow panelists introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Brian Grissom, and I'm the headmaster here at Villanova Prep.
Hello, my name is Brian Roney. I'm the assistant head of school for academics.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tim Sedum, and I'm the director of athletics.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christopher. I'm a student here and a senior.
Hello, everyone. My name is Misha, and I am a student who is a sophomore at Villanova.
Hello, everyone. I am Brian Malhart. This is my wife, Heather Malhart, and we are parents of a student at Villanova, plus another one that graduated.
We also have a few folks working behind the scenes, answering the questions that you submit for the Q&A later today. Special thanks to Vinnie Girardi and John Coffey, members of Villanova's admission team. As we begin each school day, we would like to begin this gathering with a prayer. Misha, would you please lead us?
Of course. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let us pray. Direct, we beseech you, O Lord, all our actions by your holy inspirations, and carry them out by your gracious assistance, so that every prayer and good work of ours may always begin from you, and by you be happily ended. May all gathered here today, as well as all members of the Villanova family, be kept safe from the COVID-19 pandemic that sweeps over our world, and may we all continue to seek truth, unity, and love in a world that is torn apart by division, and we all may become one in Christ. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Misha. Again, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We hope everyone is safe and healthy. We have now begun our spring semester of the school year with a return to in-person classes scheduled for just after Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Conducting in-person learning last semester brought much needed life back on campus, and we could not be more excited. Indeed, we have all experienced a new chapter in our lives. These online gatherings are the new normal, and we have embraced this opportunity, conducting, for example, alumni spotlights for our students to hear from Wildcats past. Last semester, we had Mike Taylor, class of '86, and former vice president of Tesla Motors, talk about designing the layout of a Tesla factory. This week, we have John Fuller, class of 1980, current CEO of Wahlburgers, as well as previously CEO of Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf and Johnny Rockets. For this presentation, we have worked to distill our message to you, as screen time is something we actively seek to maintain within reason. Villanova is a special place, and we invite you to experience the beautiful campus when that day comes. In fact, we are now open to visitors and campus tours, 4 p.m. every weekday. We do plan to have a shadow program sometime in the spring that will operate with safe social distancing if the case numbers in our region allow such. For now, we are focusing on a virtual shadow experience. What is tangentially beautiful and vibrant is the Villanova community, dedicated learners and master teachers, curiosity and camaraderie. We develop the mind, heart, and body. Today, you will have a tour of campus by our students, hear from our headmaster the highlights of our school, from key administrators about academics and athletics, and learn from Villanova parents why they chose Villanova. Please type your questions into the Q&A when you think of them. We will answer many questions as they come in and also address some of the bigger questions in our concluding Q&A. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our students, Christopher and Misha, as they lead you virtually on a tour of our school.
Great. Well, welcome everyone to Villanova. My name is Christopher and I am currently a senior here. I'm from Los Angeles and I am a resident student.
Hi, once again, my name is Misha, and I am currently a sophomore at Villanova. I live in Ojai, and I'm a day student. We're so excited to share the Villanova story with you, showing you some of our favorite spots on campus, as well as the fantastic activities that take place here that make Villanova not just a school, but our home.
Awesome. So for our first stop, we go to the heart of Villanova, the Grotto and the main quad. We start every school day at the Grotto with morning prayer and reflection, the Pledge of Allegiance, and announcements. I really love this routine as the entire school, including students, teachers, and staff, are all present. And just generally, it's a great place for connectivity and constantly reminds me that I'm part of this very small, tight-knit community.
The quad is also where students' social life is. We eat lunch there every day in the beautiful California sunshine, and you can always find students either hanging out, studying, enjoying a snack, or having a club meeting. The quad has become ever more important to us during COVID as it is where we can host all of our activities in our spacious outdoor setting. The main quad is also where students have fun and decompress from class after school. Whenever there is a big celebration like Spirit Week, Wildcat Day, Halloween, or Catholic Schools Week, the student government usually sets up fun games and special meals for the whole school to enjoy.
Yeah, that's right. One of the greatest things about Villanova is the clubs and activities we have here. All of our clubs are very student driven. Here we see the volleyball club, which was formed by a few seniors from last year. If you have any ideas for a club and want to share your passion with others, you can dream and make that a reality. For instance, I had an idea for an art history and opera appreciation club, and I spoke to a teacher about it. And then a month later, I had like 8 kids joining me every Wednesday for a cool meeting and discussing what I love. So if you can dream it, it can happen here. So I think you'll find that one of the best things about high school, obviously, is the friends you make. This is certainly true at Villanova, and Villanova has the blessing of being both a day and a boarding school. This means we have students who live a few minutes from campus and students who are from the other side of the world. And this kind of community creates an opportunity to learn about other cultures and make lifelong friends with students all across the globe. In my freshman year, my roommate was from Japan. In my sophomore year, he was from Hong Kong. In my junior year, he was from Poland. And this year I live alone, but just having known those people has really shaped me into a better person, I think.
We also have students from 15 different countries, including Russia, Mexico, Japan, Poland, South Korea, Turkey, China, as well as several students from different parts of the US, including San Francisco and Los Angeles. It always amazes me how far students travel for a good Villanova education. One way we celebrate the diversity of our campus is an annual tradition called International Day. At International Day, students get a chance to showcase their country's cuisine and culture. Students cook for hours over the weekend to share a traditional meal of their country with the Villanova community. After the meal, several student groups share a performance from their culture. In this photo, one of our seniors, BJ, wanted to perform a traditional Indian dance, but he needed more dancers to make it work. He recruited some of his friends to help out, and so several students were able to learn an incredible Indian dance and perform it for everyone.
It's having such an awesome international community. It's an education unto itself. I've learned so much about other cultures just from hanging out with my friends. And like I said, this is especially true in the dorm where we live with students from other countries and get to explore Southern California together on the weekends. We've gone to the beach, Universal Studios in Hollywood, a Lakers game, a performance by the LA Opera, or just a Saturday shopping trip or Starbucks trip down to Ojai. You know, it's great community always. And speaking of community, there I am in the dorm. We become like a family within a family. We share meals together every day with special meals on Sundays. We study together in the library at study hall every night. And we just learn how to support each other in the ups and downs of high school life. The main quad is a place to make friends and enjoy ourselves, but it's so much more than that. It represents the unity of Villanova, a unity that is made of students from all parts of the world and from all kinds of backgrounds. Here we have, that was my friend Angel Wong from a few years back, and I still talk to her today. So, lasting relationships always.
Our next stop is Mcgrath Hall, our science building. In this building, we have our 3 science laboratories as well as our mathematics classrooms. It is in these classrooms we pursue our core value of truth in mathematics and the sciences. There are several amazing course offerings from our science department, including conceptual physics, which I took last year, biology, which I'm taking right now, chemistry, environmental science, and several higher level IB science classes in these specific areas. Our state-of-the-art labs help to really grasp a concept by not just memorizing facts from a book, but watching it play out in the real world. For those especially interested in science, there are all sorts of clubs and scholarship opportunities. Dr. Smith runs the Be Greater Than Average Club, which is dedicated to doing extracurricular chemistry and physics projects for those who want more. Recently, they built trebuchets to see how far they could launch pumpkins using only simple machines. There is also an environmental science club that is dedicated to preserving the environment through education and service. They organize a beach cleanup every year, and I joined that club this year, and also another science-related club, and I extremely enjoy these clubs, and I've helped with the beach cleanup. We also have our Claire Booth Lewis program, which I am in, which is an endowment given to Villanova by the late Congresswoman Claire Booth Lewis to help young women pursue careers in STEM fields. CBL is a very popular club at our school, and it encourages girls to explore and maximize their potential in STEM. Villanova is currently the only high school that has been given the opportunity to have this program.
Great. The next spot on campus we wanted to take you is our athletic facilities. At Villanova, we believe athletics is an essential part of the formation of the person. Our sports programs help teach us valuable skills like discipline, self-care of our bodies, and how to work as a team both on and off the court, field, or pool. We have 14 varsity sports at Villanova, and you can play 1 per season in the fall, winter, and spring.
Here at Villanova, we are super inclusive. It doesn't matter if you have experience, if you have motivation, and if you have desire to join the team, you'll go far. That's all you need. And I have personally played soccer last year, and I plan to play it again this year, and I really enjoyed it. It made you feel really like part of a team and like get to know people who are older than you. And sports participation isn't just limited to athletes either. Students are encouraged to help the teams as managers, and almost everyone comes out to be a part of the student section, cheering on the players during games. Sports are where many of our students make their first friends on campus. We grow in that friendship through learning dedication and discipline to our team, but also the value of community as we all work together towards victory.
Perfect. Our next stop is Austin Hall, the cornerstone of the humanities at Villanova. In this building, we have all of our English classes, our foreign language classes, as well as a few social sciences. Our student body, as mentioned, is extremely diverse. So we make it a point at Villanova to study and engage with a lot of cross-cultural content and literature. Here we have some old students reading The Merchant of Venice, which is personally one of my favorite plays. And we're passionate about the power of written and spoken language. We read both classic and contemporary texts. We train to be better writers every day. We have peer writing tutors who help underclassmen through the writing process, helping them brainstorm, edit, revise, and teach them crazy grammar rules. I am one of these crazy peer writing tutors, and just last semester I did 24 hours of writing peer tutoring. So it's always great to, and you meet a lot of new people that way too, because of COVID, I wasn't able to meet much of the freshman class, but through tutoring, I know almost half of them now. So it's pretty great. Our history and social sciences are also very strong and build our research skills and decision-making skills. Freshman year, we start out with a global studies class that helps us understand the geography and cultures from all over the world, with the special benefit of having students from those countries in our actual classes. All in all, the humanities are strong at Villanova and help us to be college ready by the time we graduate. You know, Mr. Roney, my history teacher, he always has kids coming back and thanking him for, you know, thank you for teaching me how to write this history essay this particular way. It always works out. And in psychology with Miss Walsh, you know, we get these real life research skills that we're going to implement in college. So it's not for nothing. It's always useful and practical information you're getting here.
Now let's move on to our art studio. Our visual arts explore many mediums, including drawing, painting, ceramics, and we recently expanded the program with a new art building, which is just an excellent open space people love here at Villanova. In the IB art program, students get to make a portfolio at the end of the year with their work, and in IB music, students create an original composition. These are both presented at the end of the year in an art show and a recital.
All right, lastly, here is our theater, the home of the performing arts. In the performing arts, we have two major performances every year. One is called the Spring Musical and the other is called the Fall Play. But there's a bunch of little more accessible and smaller performances like karaoke night and the school talent show happening throughout the year as well. So, you know, I was in Beauty and the Beast, I was in The Music Man, but I was also in this show you see on the screen, which was called WCKY, about some crazy Radiohead people and a murder. So lots of fun. And we have a ukulele ensemble, music ministry, and a bunch of other music and performing arts opportunities. I like to sing opera, and I've been able to sing at Mass several times. So lots of opportunities for singing too. We also have several art classes that take on more technological mediums like graphic design, digital photography, and video production that help students create their art through a variety of software.
Finally, this, more than any other picture, is what makes Villanova the great school it is, our students. Villanova Preparatory School is the premier Catholic day and boarding school on the West Coast precisely because of the students. It's a community that pursues the truth, is animated by unity, and seeks love in everything we do. This is the Villanova that has become our home and our family, and this is the Villanova we would like you to invite you to become a part of.
This concludes our tour. On behalf of the Villanova community, we would like to thank you for letting us share our school with you, and we hope to have you on campus for a real tour soon, as Mr. Hart mentioned, so you can see the magic with your own eyes. In truth, unity, and love, we'll be praying for you as you begin the high school application process. Go Wildcats.
Thank you, Christopher and Misha. Great presentation on Villanova Prep, and thanks for just leading us on a wonderful and insightful virtual tour of our school. Christopher is a senior and is Columbia bound. Congratulations, Christopher, on that. And just so proud of our students and what they bring to our school. I want to introduce you now to myself. My name is Brian Grissom. I'm the headmaster here at Villanova Prep. I've been here for 22 years. Started teaching in theology, coach golf, coach tennis, eventually became part of the administration as the director of academics, and in January was asked to assume the role of the headmaster of Villanova Prep. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I love it here at the school. Really, it's a genuine community where people know one another, care for one another, support one another. And really, it's an experience unlike anything else that you'll experience at the high school level. We are a college preparatory high school rooted in the Catholic and Augustinian tradition, both the intellectual and spiritual tradition of St. Augustine. And we're guided by the core values of unity, truth, and love. These core values are not just slogans that we say, but are the foundation and the core of the Villanova experience. For example, as you saw in the last picture there of unity, everyone is together with the singular goal of getting the most out of their high school experience. When you come to campus, if you get that experience to come down here and visit us, you'll see that you're welcomed, you're appreciated for who you are, and you'll see and experience the unity that we have, a supportive and positive community focused on excellence in academics and extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, etc. Another core value that we hold dear is truth. We are focused on finding that truth through faith and reason. And we see that exercised inside and outside the classroom. You'll learn that searching for the truth is not an easy process, but certainly a worthwhile pursuit, a skill that is going to guide you not only in high school, not only in college, but for the rest of your life. And another core value that we find very important is the core value of love. Love tends to be one of the most overused words in our English vocabulary. But when you look at the heart of what the word love means, you go to the root word of love, the Christian definition that we find in the Bible, which is a Greek word agape. The word agape means selfless, unconditional love. It's the love that God has for all of us, and it's the love that we are called by God to share with one another. So whether it's helping out a friend in need, supporting someone through a difficult time, offering to volunteer. Christopher was mentioning how he volunteers to help with peer tutoring, and just showing respect and concern for each other. You'll see that core value of love is an important component of our Villanova experience. The tradition that we talk about is shaped by St. Augustine. It's the heart and center of our educational philosophy here at Villanova. Our school is designed to support and lay the foundation for each and every student so they could develop the knowledge, they could develop their skills for college and for life. Some of those skills that we wish to develop include critical thinking, communication skills, creativity, and collaboration. And the virtual tour that we just saw showcases some of those elements of how we develop those skills. We offer college prep, honors level, and college level international baccalaureate, or IB courses for short, to meet the needs of each student and to challenge them in their pursuit for academic excellence. We specifically chose the IB program over AP college level courses because it more matches our philosophy of promoting inquiry, research, and depth of knowledge. And it's also very highly regarded by the top colleges and universities in our nation. I won't talk too much more about that because I'm going to have Mr. Roney talk about that in just a couple of minutes in terms of our academic program and our IB program in particular. But generally speaking, we want our students to be challenged and to be active learners in the classroom environment. We're not about memorizing and cramming for tests. It's about that pursuit of knowledge. So if you were to visit one of our classrooms, you'll see that our teachers aren't lecturers, but instead they guide the students. You'll see students and teachers working together in that pursuit of truth. So just to reiterate that point, students are not alone on the educational journey, but we are a community of learning. Our teachers and our students partner together in that pursuit of truth. Ultimately, our goal is to develop the entire person, not just the intellect, but the body and the soul as well over the course of a student's 4 years at Villanova. As our student ambassadors just showed you, our school is a well-rounded program that focuses on academics, spirituality, athletics, the arts, and so many other areas that will develop the skills and talents of every student that comes here to Villanova. As Christopher mentioned, as both a boarding and day school, our international students provide a very diverse learning experience for everyone that attends our school. I just also want to add that the faith development of each student is vitally important to what we believe in here at Villanova. Whether your child is Catholic or not Catholic, our school does provide that opportunity to develop the moral character and the personal integrity of each young man and woman that attends our school. We find that to be very important. We are also a Catholic school that begins each day and each activity with prayer. We have 2 Augustinian priests that live on campus and celebrate daily Mass and are actively involved in the campus life. We have 1 priest that teaches theology and is also the campus minister. The priests are regularly available for confession and for to celebrate Mass with the students and for whatever spiritual needs the students are seeking. As I mentioned, St. Augustine is the inspiration for our program, and we seek to educate students in the words of St. Augustine: a mind through which Christ thinks, a heart through which Christ loves, a voice through which Christ speaks, and a hand through which Christ helps. Ultimately, it is our goal for the well-rounded development of each student, intellectual, spiritual, moral, and personal, is our focus each and every day here at Villanova Prep. I really hope that you can make plans to come down here and visit us on campus, because there's really nothing like the actual experience of being here and seeing Villanova in action. There's nothing like that enthusiasm that you'll see, the energy of our students, and to really truly see and experience how we live out the core values of unity, truth, and love. Now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Brian Roney, our assistant headmaster of Villanova Prep for Academics, and he's going to discuss a little bit more about our academic program and the IB Diploma program.
Thank you, Brian. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you all. All right. Well, my name is Brian Roney. I am the Assistant Head of School for Academics, and this is my 22nd year in education and my 15th year at Villanova. It has been a blessing to be here, and I enjoy every day that I am blessed to be here. And as Mr. Grissom was saying, I followed suit in a number of other roles here as social sciences department chair, baseball coach, golf coach, and the international baccalaureate program coordinator. And recently, this first year, I have been asked to take over as director of academics. I think our previous speakers really said it very well, in that our Villanova students are young men and women educated in the Christian values. They are the fully immersed student, and our goal is to promote that full growth in our students, and that is the intellectual, as Mr. Grissom was saying, the spiritual, the moral, and the social, personal development of the student. And we live by this with our core values of truth, love, and unity, as mentioned before. At Villanova, we have our 8 core course offerings. All students will be enrolled in 4 years of theology, focusing on the Bible, church history, sacraments, morality, comparative religions, and vocations. In our English program, students are required to take 4 years of English. We offer this out at the college preparatory level and also at the IB level, the higher level, which I'll speak to in just a moment. Our fine arts courses include art and Western culture, art of theater, ceramics, photography, computer design, ukulele, which I'd like to learn actually, publications, film production, and then we do have an IB option for IB music, higher level, and standard level, and then IB art at the higher level. And we do offer our foreign language courses in both Spanish and Latin. Mathematics courses will be introduced in 3 levels, which we call our integrated math series. And then we do have 2 mathematical tracks, which we offer in our IB courses, which are analytics and approaches and applications and interpretations of mathematics. In science, as we've mentioned before, we include courses in conceptual physics, biology, chemistry, marine science, robotics, and we do have an IB environmental sciences and AP physics option as well. As a social science teacher, well, we do offer, starting at the 9th grade, global studies, sophomore year, civics, economics, US history, and then the students will transfer in junior and senior year into what we call IB history HL. And the final course that we offer is our 9th through 12th seminar courses, which are learning skills, our developmental approach courses, which really are designed to help our students with time management, personal growth, mental health advocation, and college readiness. So these are our what we call our seminar courses. One thing that we pride ourselves with as an IB World School is that we do have a variety of courses at Villanova, and we do offer pathways into different academics. A couple pathways that you see, one in particular is our STEM pathway, which is our science, technology, and our mathematics engineering pathway. And then we also have a pathway which includes a humanities aspect to it. One is geared more obviously in the science, and we do have one that is geared more obviously in humanities, which would include things like IB art, IB music, history, psychology, and of course the theory of knowledge. One of the things that we have at Villanova is that we, as Mr. Grissom was pointing out, is we pride ourselves in really developing critical thinking in our students, advocation for sound communication skills, both with their peers, collaboration with other IB schools as well, but internally within our own students, with our teachers, and then this sense of creativity. Our courses are UC and Cal State University approved. They meet and exceed those requirements. And we do have an amazing, can't be a good school without qualified, credentialed, high-level teachers. They're very dedicated to what they do, and we value their service here. So our teachers, as Mr. Grissom was mentioning, our teachers don't simply have direct lectures or hand out worksheets. One of the things that we really pride on is that they use a wide range of pedagogy methodologies within the classroom that really engage and foster the critical thinking, critical reading, research skills that we look for in the higher level tiers for our students. One of the things we offer is after school support. All of our teachers are available after school for up to an hour, sometimes even longer, depending on the students that they've scheduled in for that day. As Christopher was mentioning, we really thank him for his service. We do pride ourselves in our peer tutoring program, which is included in math, English, and in science. And again, one of another thing that we really have as a small school is a variety of classes. Our average class size is around 16, and we are a one-to-one iPad school. So each student is given an iPad, and teachers definitely use their creative lessons for those iPads. As Mr. Grissom mentioned earlier, in 2015, we became an IB World School. The IB stands for the International Baccalaureate Program. This is our curriculum framework, which we adopted. Our first set of test takers was the class of 2017. They were the first cohort to sit for those examinations, and many receiving college credit. Our International Baccalaureate Program uses an approach which focuses on 21st century skills, student-focused skills, and hopes in that when students finish the program, they are developed in their thinking skills, their critical thinking skills, their ability to communicate with their teachers, the advocation for that, but their social skills, the ability to collaborate with each other, to work in small and larger groups. And as we all know, one of the biggest things we learned in college is the ability to self-regulate, to manage our time, to manage our workload, to prioritize our days. And that's a big component of our IB program. And then finally, our research skills. This is true with our extended essay and our internal assessment papers, which are due in our senior year as an IB student. So these are called our approaches to learning skills. So we have two different options for our 11th and 12th grade IB students. Students may take IB classes in an individual manner, much like an AP course. They may take up to 4, some even 5 individual courses. We call those certificate courses, or they may choose to complete what we call the full diploma program, which is a 2-year diploma program. And the requirements for the full diploma program is that the student would complete 3 high-level courses, which are 240-hour courses, and 3 standard level courses. And if you look at the 3 that makes up the 6 core components, which I'll show you in just a moment, of our IB curriculum. They must also complete the core aspect, which is the CAS, the Community Action Service Project, the extended essay, and the Theory of Knowledge course. All courses are graded on a rubric scale of 1 to 7, and 24 overall points is needed to achieve the IB diploma. Christopher Gutierrez is a full diploma student, and I'm hoping maybe at the end you might be able to shed a little bit of light about your experience as a full diploma student. Again, our IB Diploma Core has 3 components to it, and that is the Theory of Knowledge course, the extended essay, which is a 4,000-word research project that the students are required to do, much like a capstone or I would say a mini dissertation, Christopher. And we have a community action service project that students are all required to take to complete the IB diploma program. Here are the 6 core subject groups that I mentioned before: studies in language and literature, language acquisition, history, which is they call individuals and societies, the sciences, mathematics, and in the arts. And as we do, we always showcase some of our alumni in the IB diploma program over the years. This is Emily Vargas. She received the full diploma program in our second cohort. And she received a merit scholarship to the University of California, Los Angeles. This is Elizabeth Spiller. She received the diploma again in 2018, and she is at Occidental College. This is Megan Kaiser. Megan Kaiser is currently at Drexel University, she's at Villanova University, and she's actually the recipient of our full Villanova Scholarship Award. She received a full ride, 4-year paid ride to academic merit ride to Villanova University, and is in the accelerated nursing program. Sean Solomon went to the University of Maryville. He's one of our, actually class of 2018, again, a merit scholarship to the university, and actually had a younger brother graduate from as a diploma recipient as well. And then lastly, Emma Randolph, who again, merit recipient in the IB diploma program, and went to UCLA. So some of the great students we've had, and the amazing thing is that we offer it in a 3-track tier: the college preparatory level, the certificate level, and then the IB full diploma level. I'm happy to answer any questions at the very end. And at this moment, I thank you guys very much for your time. I'm going to turn it over now to our athletic director, Coach Tim Sedum.
Thanks, Brian. So again, my name's Tim Sedum, but everybody calls me Coach. And I've been here at Villanova for the past 5 years. This is my first year as the athletic director. I also teach health and physical education, or health and fitness, as we call it. And I've been the head water polo and swim coach the entire time here for both boys and girls. I want to thank Misha and Christopher. They really hit the nail on the head when they were talking about what our athletics program really encompasses and how involved it is for each and every student that does join a program. I am going to make one correction to Christopher. We actually do offer 16 varsity sports, not 14. We'll be back up to 16 next year. So in the spring, and I'll go over each of those. In the fall, excuse me, we have girls volleyball, boys water polo, and boys football, and girls tennis. When we get to our winter season, this is in our normal non-COVID year, by the way, we have boys and girls basketball, boys and girls soccer, girls water polo, and I believe that's it. That's in the winter. And then in the spring is our big season where we have boys and girls swim, boys and girls track, girls tennis, boys baseball, and then also boys and girls golf. So a little bit more to do in each of those seasons. Now, like Christopher said, you can play any one sport in any of those seasons. This year's a little different where we may have some overlap. And we're all encompassing. So the skill level of each and every individual that comes here is welcome. We have high-level club athletes to virtual beginners when they start with programs. I myself have students who've played for several years in a club team as they come in freshmen, and then I have others who've never touched the water before a day in their lives. And we embrace them all and we coach them up to as best as possible. For us, we play teams in our two respective leagues, which is both the Tri-Valley and the Frontier Leagues. And they're pretty local. We stem anywhere from Santa Barbara, Carpinteria, down to Malibu, actually. But each team in and of itself plays an extensive non-league system. So where we'll have teams anywhere from as far north as San Luis Obispo and travel as far down south as Irvine. So we encompass a good portion of Southern California to teams that we compete at all levels. And each of our teams encompass different levels and are in different CIF regions, with several of our programs have reaching high-level CIF attainment in the last few years. Aside from that, we're looking to grow and develop each and every individual that comes onto campus. And we've hired quality coaches that will do that. They'll push each of our students to be the best of their ability, not only as a person, but as an athlete. And we want them to be a part of the campus in a big manner. And so when they are alumni, they come back with fond memories of not just the classrooms and not just their teammates, but of the sports and everybody that's here, and really thrive in the tradition that is Villanova athletics. And if you have any questions outside of this that I can answer further, I'm more than happy to. I'll be here obviously until the end. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on along to Mr. Molhart as one of our parents, and they'll speak to their experiences from having some students who graduated and are currently here.
Hello, I'm Brian Malhart. This is my wife, Heather, and we do have one son who's a junior. He's been there in his third year at Villanova. We have our older son who just graduated last year, who came in as a junior, who was actually at a public school system. And basically, at the time when we looked at it, there was a little bit of a financial issue. So we elected to send our older son to the public school system, and we knew he would actually do well, just academically and socially. Our younger one, Christian, got to the point where taking a test, he scored very high on a lot of the academic tests, and we go, whew, I think we have someone smarter than we actually realized. The older one found out that the younger one was going to go to Villanova. When we made the decision, the older one's like, Dad, I want to go. And I was, kind of questioning him, why? You're doing well at Rio Mesa at the public school system. And he said, one of the things that bothers me is that the teachers are great, but it's the students. He goes, one student will interrupt or disrupt a class of 40 kids, and it disrupts everything in terms of the education. And he was really focused on his education. He was doing the STEM program at Rio Mesa. So we made it happen and made it work. And we're very fortunate that older one really took to Villanova, was very happy being there, the smaller class sizes. And when I asked him, I said, what really was the difference between, like, say, the public school system and the private? And he basically came down to the students. And you will find that the students are there to learn. And we have the teachers, professors, students, the faculty that mirror how my wife and I view the education. And we're here to help. This is what we've told our son, but we're not here to do your work for you. You have to do it. And so there's a challenge. And what we found is that our older one really succeeded. Now our younger one, because we two different boys and two different personalities, they approach it, differently. And we're very fortunate that the school is, passionate about making and wanting the children to succeed, because if they succeed here, they'll succeed in life. The other thing that kind of led us into Villanova is I'm an alumni graduate. I graduated in '93, if I remember correctly, and went off to Loyola Marymount University and graduated in '97. That education still sticks with me today. I had a lot of friends that went to Santa Clara High School, and I said, hey, all my friends are going there. My brother and I were like the only ones. We didn't know anyone. And I've made lifelong friends because of the small class size, because the campus is beautiful. And I have other cousins that, yes, they did go to Santa Clara. They went to other schools and did well. My wife is actually a Cal Poly graduate and a St. Bonaventure graduate. So, from the Catholic education, we found that it's very profound in terms of the education, spiritually, and everything that we really wanted that for our kids. And we made it happen, and we're happy that they're there, and they'll appreciate it at the end when they graduate, kind of like I did. The first year I was expected to go there for a year, and I ended up there 4 years. And there were times I'm like, it's a small school. You're trying to find yourself, and it's kind of hard. I was very active in sports. Academics wasn't my strongest point, but it got me through college, and it got me past that into a very successful career. And I'm wanted the same thing for our son. We both wanted the same thing, and because of the Catholic education, because of the support system, that's why we chose and elected to send our boys to Villanova.
We would like to thank you all for helping us help our son through this difficult Zoom time. It has been a little bit more difficult for Christian, but we found out time management skills were essential. So for him, maybe a calendar system, breaking down time and forming a better routine was essential. And we had to figure it out. So we're learning, but we did that because we talked to several of the teachers, and thank goodness that you were willing to, it was nice that you were there right away helping us out. And it's wonderful to see so many people that I know, like I think you just hired, is it Sarah Dufresne? They're such an amazing family. I love the Dufresnes. I knew them from the Sacred Heart days, and they Thomas Aquinas, and it's like you're seeing family all over the place. And it's beautiful to see that mirror, to see that my son's school mirrors those same values. It makes it easier for us here to do the same thing. So it's like a mirror image, it's beautiful. It really, truly is. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Really, it has made life a lot easier.
And that's our experience, and more than willing to answer any questions that you may have. So I guess at this point we're going to hand it back over to Tyler.
Mr. and Ms. Mulhart, thank you very much for sharing your family's experience with us and with everyone who's on the call. Knowing both Christian and Nicholas, I found myself kind of nodding along when you were reminiscing a little bit. And I'll never forget that phone call when it came down to kind of the test and figuring out where Christian was going to be when he was in 8th grade coming in. It was like, well, in fact, we got 2, and can we make that work? And it's like, and it's crazy to think now here we are, what, 3.5 years down the road. So fantastic. And when it comes to supporting through Zoom and online learning, and now back in classes with the hybrid learning, every week has been a new adventure. And I think, there's a lot of talk nationwide about kind of grit and resilience, and we're not talking about it, now we're living it. And really trying to figure out the best and navigate together the best pathway forward. So we got a lot of questions that have come in, and folks at home, if you have questions, please do pop those into the Q&A. We're going to try and knock these out rapid fire as much or as quickly as possible. Let's see here. So first question for Mr. Roney, can you give us just a real quick overview? How many students are in the school? What's the breakdown between the boarding students and the day students?
Sure, be happy to. Yeah, we're about 200 students, and we have about 25 to 30% of our students are resident students, are boarding students, and we have about the other 2/3 of our students that are from various counties, some being even obviously within the city of Ojai. So, and that number fluctuates every year, but we definitely have a diversity of peoples, as we've talked about before, from around the world and from both Santa Barbara County, LA County, and Ventura County.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Roney. Next question is related to robotics. What kind of opportunities are there in robotics at Villanova? So we do have an elective class that students can enroll in to focus on robotics and coding throughout the school year. But if they aren't able to fit that into their schedule, or if they want a little bit more than just that 1 year's worth of class, we do have a robotics club that is working on entering the competition arena once things like that open back up, I guess you could say. Next question is, let's see here, Misha, perhaps you can answer this question. What if you aren't religious? Given the fact at Villanova, I think 50% of our students are Catholic. I know the 30% are other Christian denominations, and about 20-something% are, oh my goodness, everything else. We have students who are Muslim or who are agnostic or Buddhist. What if you aren't religious? Could you speak to that in terms of being a student at Villanova?
Yes, I could. So I remember when I came here to look at the school when I was in 8th grade, and I asked the very same question. I'm like, well, I'm not Catholic, so am I allowed to come here? Are you guys going to be like, you have to be Catholic? And someone told me, oh no, it's very casual. Like, you can be, you don't have to be, you can be other Christian, whatever you want. And so I was like, oh, okay. And as I've come here, I've learned that, like, sure, there are some Christian Catholic traditions, but if you don't follow them, like, if you have to be respectful, but you don't have to like participate if it's not you. Like, I'm not Catholic, but I'm a Christian, and so I relate to a lot of the things, and it really just, a lot of the things they do make sense. Like, even if you're not Christian, like truth, unity, and love, our core values, they still make sense, like even if you aren't religious,
Yeah, and I think to add to that, let's see here, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes, of course. We want students to the point of our campus ministry program is to develop students along their own spiritual journey. So to, engage in the conversation that takes place in the theology class that is required each year. Ultimately, it comes down to respect. Are you willing to engage in this conversation? Now, let's see here. There is one question that's come in. Can you talk more about the scholarship opportunities through CBL? So Claire Booth Luce is an all-girls math and science program. Both Mr. Grissom and I believe Mr. Roney touched on that. The scholarship opportunities are actually on the way out. So there are students who have been very involved in that club, and then they're rewarded and surprised with scholarships as they graduate that will cover some of the incidental costs for females, of course, and let's see here, maybe covering books or some of the incidentals that they'll find in university. We do have a good number of scholarships listed on our website for students who are applying to Villanova. So under admissions, affording Villanova, scholarships, you'll see the merit scholarship attached to the entrance exam, as well as many Augustinian scholarships to review as well. Christopher, next question's for you. Can you talk a little bit more about everyday dorm life? What are you allowed to do on the weekends? Do you get to take trips outside of Ventura County?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question. Having lived in the dorm now for 4 years, we have a room called the recreation room, the rec room. That's a big center where we all love to hang out. A lot of us go on hikes on the weekend. I mean, in terms of on-campus activities, they're always planning things. I mean, the other during the holidays, they had some cookie decorating things, and that's just on campus. But we're allowed to leave the dorm all the time. You know, when it's not COVID times, it's we had trips to LA all the time, and students, we would go to the Grove and a bunch of places like we mentioned. We went to sports games and even the opera. Everything that you could want to do, you're allowed to do as long as you ask. You ask a dorm staff, you plan the trip, and you're allowed to go. So it's all about, again, the initiative that you're willing to take. And if you don't see something you want, you just ask for it.
All right. Thank you very much, Christopher. Coach, perhaps you could talk a little bit more about this. Let's see, anonymous question came in. My child is really interested in athletics and is hopeful to play potentially in college. We are looking at a couple different schools, big and small. Can you talk about the advantages to playing sports at a smaller school?
Sure. So really it depends. I mean, each and every individual that comes to our campus or plays a sport for that matter is really depends on the level they want to get to. The advantages between our school compared to being a bigger school is just exposure. And when I say that, I mean that it's opportunity. So each student that comes here probably gets a greater chance just to compete each and every day, not only in practice, but with other teams at a high level all the time. So I can speak personally for several student athletes that I have who do both our on-campus sports as well as play club, and they're just getting more and more game time because we're a smaller campus. A little bit smaller teams just means they have more opportunities to play and compete. And we really do encourage them to compete in multiple sports. And so that way they're not only getting the exposure of just that one particular sport that they're playing, they're also seeing other voices and hearing other voices and learning from multiple sources. And they're getting out and playing those club teams as well. So that way they're having that opportunity in that time. And then on top of that, just getting an amazing education that's really going to prepare them for that next step when they do go to college and do try to compete. They really have to learn how to balance their time. And I think that was really well spoken by the Mulharts, learning how to time manage. And I think that speaks well to what one of our coaches do, because all our coaches are really high quality, as well as really trying to get the best out of each and every one. So wanting to be athletically inclined, I would really encourage a small school.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Coach. And I think we have time for one more question. Mr. Roney, let's see here. We have international students who have not been able to travel back to campus. And so we have learning going on many different time zones around the world. The question is about whether VPS has been able to offer online courses for students who have had to study remotely, remaining in their home country. And if so, what do students have? What are the opportunities? Is it synchronous or asynchronous?
So when COVID broke out and it affected our region of the world, probably around March of 2020, from March of 2020 through this past semester, which was December 15th, which is the end of that semester, we taught both day and evening courses, and we taught our day classes to our population here in the States. And we had our teachers also teach evening courses. So it really became quite the double workload. What we have done for the second semester for this school year is and for the most likely remainder through our hybrid situation, is that our population of students that cannot be present on campus due to visa or travel restrictions, we are asking that they attend our Pacific daytime hours for our courses. Our teachers are also posting the recorded lectures and videos of their courses so that students can use those as for extra studying and for in the event that they do miss a course. One of the things we also do for our resident students that cannot return from certain regions around the world is for our 9th and 10th graders. We do still continue to offer an evening program for them. Those evening classes take place on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings from about 5 o'clock to about 9 p.m. And half of those courses are taught from our faculty members here at Villanova. The other courses are from the Brigham Young University, their high school portal. And these courses are supervised by our faculty and members here at Villanova. So yes, we do offer an evening program for 9th and 10th graders, and we do also post our videos to share with our students. So,
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Roney.
welcome.
And thank you, panelists. That about wraps up our time together. Thank you for joining us today. We are accepting applications for fall of 2021, and we encourage you to begin the process on our website, villanovaprep.org/apply. For families looking further in the future, we will be sure to include you in upcoming activities or opportunities to engage with our school community. If you are within driving distance, we invite you to schedule a tour of campus. For applicants entering grade 9 in fall 2021 and considering Catholic high schools, we are offering the Hspt exam this month, as well as a prep course that we're offering virtually, and that starts tomorrow evening. We are conducting the test both in person and online. In-person registration is available, as is online registration. We are offering the test on January 23rd as well as February 6th. The admission team will work to answer any and all of your remaining questions that we weren't able to get to in the Q&A today. And we will send that to you likely later this week. Thank you very much. Go Nova, go Wildcats. Mr. and Ms. Mulhart, Misha, Christopher, Coach Setter, Mr. Roney, Mr. Grissom, Mr. Girardi, Mr. Coffey. Thank you very much for joining us today. Again, my name is Mr. Hart, and have a wonderful evening. Go Wildcats.